Going. Good morning to everyone and welcome to our class this morning on the neighborhood reports. These neighborhood reports are pretty fantastic. If you are doing any sort of community farming, you are trying to capture in an area, trying to be that resource for the area, these reports are where you want to be. I saw Lewis just pop on, and I know he does a lot in a particular building. It's going to be great to have all of this lined up for those specific areas that you farm. So with that said, this morning, again, I'd like to introduce you to Kristen Fredericks. Kristen is our digital admin with the marketing team, and she is going to share with you this morning lots about the neighborhood reports. Do enjoy this session. If you have any questions, please do place those in the chat. We'll have Haley monitor the chat, and she will interrupt Kristen if needs be to get any questions answered along the way. Enjoy this class this morning, and Kristen, it's all yours.
Thanks so much. I don't normally get excited about a really, really cool product, but when I do, you know that it's exciting. I love neighborhood reports. Probably one of my favorite features we've added in the last couple of years to our websites and to Town Central in general. For those of you who have taken advantage of being able to meet with the marketing department one-on-one in your marketing lives, you may have had the opportunity to see this while it was still in its beta version. For those of you who did not make an appointment with the marketing department, you had to wait until this class. So just remember, we do introduce some of this stuff before our classes for those of you who do take advantage of those appointments. Hint, hint. So neighborhood reports. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to show you guys the new exciting product we have available for you. All right, we're going to be using Ralston's website today. And Ralston's Site Builder, just so that we can build out some more of these things without affecting all of our agent websites. All right, this is Ralston's website. He's actually on one of our brand new templates called the Gaskell. Notice that it has a great video background, all sorts of really cool features. If you haven't had a chance to check out our new templates, in addition to all of our new interesting features, do please take advantage of that as well. So Ralston's website is set up really interesting. We use this for training. You'll be able to see all of the different features that Site Builder has. So if you ever want to know how something works, or if you want to see a lead page, or you want to see how one of our specific pages works, ralstonaudain.com is set up just for you. I want you to notice this tab right here called Neighborhood Reports. For those of you who have taken my classes before, you know that I'm a big fan of what we call our SEO pages, or search engine optimization pages. Those are just fancy ways of saying a landing page that has listings on it. Our neighborhood reports are basically listing landing pages on steroids. Let's take a look at a couple. I want you to notice for our neighborhood reports, it's not just limited to neighborhoods. You'll notice I have Governor's Land, North End, but I also have something for the entire area of Poquoson here. So as we go through this, please do remember that neighborhood reports is just a name for a product, but it's not limited to just a subdivision. All right, let's take a look at Governor's Land Report. So I want you to notice how much of this is customizable and how much information it has on it. So our neighborhood reports start with this great customizable hero. That's that top image and the text that goes with it here. But take a look at the stats that you start to get. The number of new listings in the last 14 days, number of pendings, number of recently sold, how many are currently for sale, the average days on market, when the newest listing was taken. Here's our recently sold, the average days to sell, and when the last sale was. And then we start to get into the actual listings. Here we go, the neighborhood summary. Here are all the listings for sale in Governor's Land right now. And then some basic information about just the for sale properties. Here's our neighborhood summary for the pending properties right now. And then, of course, some basic information for pending on here as well. And then here's that neighborhood summary for those sold. And some information about just the sold properties. Notice that you can also scroll through. So this one happens to have 2 pages here, so I can actually toggle through, and it's going to give me some additional sold properties. And then I'm going to go ahead and get down here to the bottom, and it's going to give me some more stats. And it's going to go ahead and give me some branding information, and it's going to start interjecting all this branding information as we go. Lots of contact, call me, contact, call me. It's going to give me a market summary here about what's going on. In this case, it happens to be for 23185. So it's going to go high level here, and it's just going to start to give me things about the zip code. So the median sales prices, the number of properties sold, new on market, all sorts of interesting information. All of this is pulling directly from the MLS stats. And then of course, some basic demographics about the area, some school information, and then some additional branding. So that one happens to be for a neighborhood. I want you to notice that the color scheme for this one that we've chosen for this page happens to be Cabernet. But I wanted to show you a different template. So we've done one for the North End as well, just so you can see a slightly different presentation version. Again, notice that the top here is completely customizable. So you have we have a nice ocean photo in the background. We have some basic information, but notice this one is black. This is actually our luxury template. You can actually choose between the Cabernet and the luxury template if you'd like to. And it's just going to change it to that black and white version that we use for all of our luxury advertising. And again, that same snapshot, the neighborhood that's for sale, some basic information. There's your pendings and some information. There's some solds and some more basic information. And then of course your market summary report for what's going on in 23451. And some more information and some more branding. But just remember that I said that the neighborhood reports weren't limited to just a neighborhood. You could also do it for other things as well. We happen to have one made up for Poquoson. So that's an entire town of Poquoson. Great Poquoson photo showing the water. And then here's that snapshot for the entire area. So the number of listings that were taken are currently for sale, number of sold, when they sold. And of course, this is everything in Poquoson right now on here. There's your pendings and your solds, and again, some basic information. Now, we are really, really excited about this because you can use these just like the SEO pages if you'd like to. If you would like to change your neighborhood pages to be something like this versus an SEO page, you can go ahead and do that. You can also set these up in addition to any neighborhood pages that you already have. For a number of agents that we've been working with who wanted to do this for something going along with a mailing or a direct mail, something with a market report, maybe an email that went out or something like that, we've left their search engine optimization page they may have already created. So maybe Ralston already had ralstonaudain.com/governorsland, and that was just a search engine optimization landing page. And then we've made an additional one, maybe ralstonaudain.com/governorsland report to be this market report. So they are two completely different products, and you can use them interchangeably if you'd like to. You can use it as an SEO page and have all of this information in addition to all the other listings. You can also keep your current SEO pages, your other landing pages, and all of those templates as well. I love this. This is really fantastic for being able to add to email marketing. It's great to be able to add to postcards, having your personalized domain, having a great call to action. This is fabulous to be able to put up in social media, be able to put it out on Insta, on Facebook, be able to put it into all of those different neighborhood groups. It's a really wonderful new product that we can have that really sets you up to be the market expert and also kind of hits the tone for that nosy neighbor. How much did that home sell for? Let me see if so-and-so's house went pending. This is the kind of page that people really love because it contains a lot of self-serve information, but it's a lot of great information that also keeps people branded right to your website. Everything on here is very clickable. So if I were to go through here and I wanted to see a listing, I could go ahead and click it. And just as a reminder that everything on your website, if you have a site builder website, is branded to you. So this happens to be a Keller Williams listing, but of course it is completely branded to Ralston, whose website I'm on. And any of the contact information, any of the forms, any of the schedule of showings, any saved favorites, request information, anything like that will go directly to you regardless of who the listing agent is, as long as you are on your website. All right, so that's now that you have a sneak preview of that, let me show you how you can actually build one of these. It's really, really simple. I'm going to go ahead over here to Town Central. I'm logged in as Ralston. I'm working as Ralston today. Your Town Central will look identical to this if you have a site builder website. You can find the neighborhood report under marketing. And it's going to show you the kind of the step-by-step way that you have to build these. And it's identical to the SEO report with just a couple of minor tweaks to make sure you get all this information in here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on marketing and then neighborhood reports right here. And you're going to be able to see all of the different reports I've already made for Ralston's website. So this one happens to be, we have Allenton, we have Governor's Land, we have the North End, and of course we have Poquoson. I didn't show you guys the Allenton one. We built that for an example for something else, but do know that that one is working as well. But I want you to see the step-by-step build out up here of the neighborhood reports. So the first thing you need to do, just like the SEO pages, is you're going to have to create a search. We have to tell it what information we want to put on that page. So we're going to build a search either by neighborhood, by an area, by whatever we'd like to do. And we're going to go ahead and create that and save it. And then we're going to go ahead and create the page that it goes on. So we're actually going to go ahead and create a page for our website. Again, this is very similar to the SEO. And then I'm going to show you these last two things here at the end, but I want to just get you started on what those pages are like to build. So I'm going to start with create a search. So creating a search in our system is really simple. But here is the minor change that you're going to need. For those of you who are already creating searches for SEO pages or you're creating searches for clients, normally you don't include the sold data. In order for these reports to work correctly, and in order to have all the data in there that you want to have in there, we're going to have to make sure that it has the sold data in there as well. We don't normally send sold data to our clients. So I'm going to start under all properties here, and I'm going to make sure that for sale, under contract, and sold are all checked. This is different than sending it to a client because, again, we don't normally send them solds. And I'm just going to go ahead and submit to make sure that it picks up everything. It's going to pick up like 300,000 listings in our MLS. All right. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and choose a neighborhood. Just because that's the general use case of what we're going to use these for. So I'm going to go ahead and click more. And I'm going to go to the advanced search down here. And that's going to ask me what MLS I want to use. Now, of course, this is going to make sure that we don't use duplicate data. So for those of you who are in the Williamsburg MLS, choose either Rain or Williamsburg to make sure that you're not picking up duplicate data and it's not going to show properties from duplicate things. So if you have, 10 listings on the market, it'll actually come in as 20 if it's listed in both MLSs. So I'm going to go ahead and choose Rain for this case. And then I'm going to go ahead and choose a neighborhood. I'm out here in Smithfield, so I'm going to go ahead and choose a nice big neighborhood that I know has a lot of data in it. And I'm going to go ahead and choose Eagle Harbor, our big planned community out here. And then I'm going to go ahead and calculate that just to make sure that we're working with the same amount of data here. We have 159. And then I'm going to go ahead and submit that search. So I'm done with that search for right now. All right, it's going to bring in all the sold data, all the active data, all the pending data, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save search. I'm saving it from my website, so I'm going to go ahead and hit continue, and then I'm going to give it a name. So in order to differentiate this search that contains the solds from a search that I might be doing for a client or a search that I might be doing for an SEO landing page that I only want actives or pendings on or active and pendings, I might change the name of this to something like Eagle Harbor Report. This is just a mental note for me to know that this also contains the sold data, because don't forget that in our system that we can reuse searches. So if you're working with a client, I'm going to just use Eagle Harbor, for example, you have 5 different clients in Eagle Harbor that you're working with. You can send them all the same save search for new properties and things like that come in. You can recycle and reuse your save searches. They're tied to a client, but they're not universal to each client. So you can go ahead and actually reuse searches for things. And I know a lot of you who are working individual markets and stuff like that have clients that are always looking for the same thing. Does somebody have a question real quick?
Yes. Lewis asked how many days out is the sold data?
So we are guaranteed 365 days worth of sold data from the MLS. And then we are working to get additional data from additional records right now. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and name this Eagle Harbor Report. And again, that's just to differentiate the fact that I just need a mental note that there are solds in this. So if I want to use it for something else. And then I can choose to do one of two things, either go to the Save Search Manager or stay on the current page. In this case, I'm going to stay on the current page. I'm done creating save searches. I'm going to go back to marketing over here. And I'm going to go back to that neighborhood report. So I've done my step 1. I need to move on to step 2, which is create a new page. So I've created my search. I'm going to go ahead and create my new page. And then I can go ahead and add a page. So notice that button over here on the left-hand side. I'm kind of twirling around it here, called add. And I'm going to go ahead and add a specific page type. Now, if you have not been in here to add interior pages to your website, please note all the different kinds of pages that you can add. We have all sorts of templates in here, from blank templates to templates that contain text and photos, stuff that, you know, you don't need to know HTML or anything else to make a beautiful website in here. But for today, we're going to use this SEO. Remember, the neighborhood reports are part of our SEO type platform. So that's where you can find the templates for those neighborhood reports. So, and here are our neighborhood reports. We have neighborhood report 1. That's the Cabernet version. This is why I wanted to show you these up front. And then we have that luxury neighborhood report over here. That's that black and white luxury version. So there's that neighborhood report and then the luxury neighborhood report. These are the only 2 templates right now that will give you all of that individual sold data. All the rest of these templates that are in here are specific to our SEO landing pages. So obviously they're very customizable, but they're not going to give you that report feature. You're going to want to choose one of these neighborhood reports. In this case, for Eagle Harbor has luxury real estate, but it also has regular real estate in it as well. So we're going to go ahead and use the Cabernet version. So I'm just going to put Eagle Harbor report.
Hey,
And
Kristen,
create that page. Go ahead.
the other question is, what if a neighborhood doesn't come up under neighborhoods?
If the neighborhood doesn't come up under neighborhoods, either it's new or nothing has been sold in it lately. And if you just send an email to web support with that neighborhood name, we can have it manually added. All right, so once we add a page and we've given it a title, it always adds into your interior pages, and it's always in alphabetical order. So you'll notice we have a bunch of different examples in here since we use this for training so often. I'm just going to scroll down to where it said Eagle Harbor report, and I'm going to go ahead and edit that page. So this is the blank neighborhood report page. We just need to give it a background, we need to give it a title, and then we need to tell it which data we want to use in there. Nice and easy. Just remember, in this system, everything that we do is over here on the left-hand side, and our preview is going to be over here on the right. So we're going to want to go to interior pages because that's what we're working with. And everything on here is just going to be step by step. So we're going to have the interior page, which is going to allow us to change this header. And then we need to go ahead and tell it what save search we want to use. And then we'll have some options to turn some of these other things on and off if we need to. You are allowed to turn off some of this data if you need to. If you want to, for example, turn off the demographics or the school data, you are welcome to do that. You just go ahead and use the hide function, and I'll show you how you can do that. Let's go ahead and make a quick change to this top piece here. So I'm just going to go right in order, interior page. So here's the different text and photos that you can change. I also want you to notice there's an advanced editor here. That's going to allow you to change this box before the market report. So if you do want to go ahead and put in a personalized message, if you want to put in a link, if you want to maybe how much is your home worth, you want to put it to your home value system. If you want to add some text just for SEO value purposes here, maybe you want to add something that they can contact you anytime for more information. You can certainly go ahead and do that under the advanced editor. It'll go ahead and add a little text box above all of those reports that I showed you, but you don't have to use it if you don't need to. All right, so you can obviously see what we can change here. So we can change this just to make it a little bit more formal here. So we can say your Eagle Harbor. Here's what houses are going for in your neighborhood. Now, we've had agents change this to something of here's what houses are going for in our neighborhood, especially if you live there. So do go ahead and just remember, you can change this as much as you want to. You can add some additional text in here. If you don't want to use that advanced editor, you are always welcome to say something like, here's what houses are going for in your neighborhood. You know, please contact me anytime with any real estate. Okay. You can go ahead and add text to that if you want to as well. And then, of course, we can change that background image. This is the standard background image for the entire report. I encourage everyone to go ahead and make sure that the interior image is something that looks like the neighborhood or looks like the area, or even change it to maybe an interior photo or something like that if you don't happen to have one for the specific neighborhood or area. So if I go to my interior images here, I can choose from all of the different stock images that are available. These are all available from our vendor. They have lots and lots and lots of different images. that are available in here. Don't forget that some of the areas, for example, this area in Atlanta looks a lot like our own properties here. You are certainly welcome to use something like that. They have lots of different pictures, even if they're not specifically designed for our area, that actually could pass as our area if they needed to. We do have a Mid-Atlantic section in here. We also have homes. We have all sorts of fun stuff. Under the company images, that's the different tab over here. You'll find some home interiors. You'll find some area shots. We're always adding to this, so we can always go ahead and put things in here as well. For Eagle Harbor, we can go ahead and use even maybe one of the Cabernet backgrounds just to give it some Berkshire branding on here. We can also use some of our local photos if we needed to. Some of our waterfronts, our people, we even have textured backgrounds, all sorts of fun stuff. Just for today, I'm just going to go ahead and grab one of these blank images here. And I'm going to go ahead and select that image. Just gives it a kind of a nice HGTV kind of feel here. Remember I said that once we do that, we need to tell it what data we want to use. If we click on Save Search, all of our saved searches are going to be here. So don't forget that a lot of times when we use this for clients or we're using for SEO pages, we've put something like homes for sale or something like that. This is why I said you might want to differentiate it if you've already have like an Eagle Harbor SEO page that just has active listings on it, or you have an Eagle Harbor saved search that you're using for a client, you may want to have one that says Eagle Harbor report, just so you know that it contains sold data that we wouldn't normally put out on those pages or send to a client. And then we can go ahead and turn on or off some of this information. We obviously don't want to hide the listings in this case, but we can if we needed to. You can hide the circle charts. You can hide the agent branding. You can hide the market information, which is the demographics and school information. And again, you can hide that agent branding if you want to. Really, there's not a great case for going ahead and turning those off, but if you feel like you need to, that option is there for you. That's all we need to do. We've created a saved search. We've added a page. We've just changed a couple of things on the top. I'm going to go ahead and publish this page. And it is ready for us to view. So it's ready to go. So notice that it's automatically pulled in all of the data already. This is just the preview. It is live on the website right now, but here's the number of listings that were taken in the last couple of days, number of pendings recently sold, when the last activity. Here's the for sale. Some basic information. There's only one house for sale in there right now. It's a huge neighborhood, so the fact there's only one house is an issue. Here's all of our under contracts. And then, of course, all of our solds. Some more basic information, and of course, some more branding. And this is, of course, for the zip code out in Carrollton, which is where this is. And some basic school information. And this is ready to go. So that is how you build a neighborhood report. And if I go back up to Ralston's website up here, I can show you what that looks like. I'm just going to change the end here to Eagle Harbor report. And this is now live. And there's all that information on here. So I have a couple of minutes. If you guys don't have a bunch of questions, do you guys want me to build another one just so you can go through the steps one more time? Maybe we can take a look at a different area, maybe we'll put together a luxury one while we have an opportunity here. Let's go through this one more time and we'll create another save search. So again, I'm just going to start from the beginning, just going to do this a little bit faster so I'm not talking quite as much. I'm going to go over here to marketing and neighborhood reports. Oh, it's unhappy with me because I already had it open. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and create a search. And I'm going to go ahead and remember to choose all of my different property statuses here for sold, under contract, and sold to make sure that I get all of the data in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and actually do something like a luxury report on a specific area. So I'm going to go ahead and do an advanced search. And instead of doing a neighborhood, I'm going to do something like, I'm going to choose a city instead. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here, and I am going to do Suffolk, Virginia. I'm going to go ahead and submit my search. So this is going to bring in everything right now that is active, pending, and sold that's in the entire system in Suffolk, except I'm going to change my price, and I'm going to do, let's do 650 and over. I can't remember what your guys, what your luxury threshold is, but I think it's close to that. So this will be only basically luxury properties in the Suffolk area. Okay, so we're not doing a neighborhood, we're just doing something for luxury. So maybe I'm going to go ahead and send out an email or a postcard to just luxury homes in the Suffolk area. And I want people to get an overview of the entire luxury market in Suffolk, not just a specific neighborhood. Maybe this is for target marketing here. So I'm going to go ahead and save this search, saving it for my website. I'm going to go ahead and give it a name. So I'm going to do something like Suffolk Luxury Report. Report is just a trigger for me to say, yes, it has sold data in it, so I don't use it for something else.
Hey, Krista,
Go ahead.
can you optimize the market report pages for SEO?
Yes, you can. And I'll show that to you when I make this page. All right, so I'm going to go to marketing, and I'm going to go to neighborhood reports. I'm going to create that new page. I'm going to add a page here. Remember, it's under the SEO category is where you can find that type of page that we're going to build. I'm going to choose the different one this time, the luxury neighborhood report. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a name. So I'm going to do the Suffolk Luxury Report. And I'm going to hit create page. Now remember, it's gone in here in alphabetical order, so I just need to go ahead and scroll down to the Suffolk Luxury Report that I just made. There we go. All right, notice that this is the black and white version. So it's giving us our different background here. Going over here to interior pages on the left-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and change this header. So we're going to say the Virginia luxury real estate. That's getting really long. Do know that these boxes, you can actually go ahead and put a return into them if you wanted to. So instead of saying, here's what houses are going for in your neighborhood, we can say something, we can just repeat this if we wanted to. So we can say, something like that. Again, you can fill this in as much or as little as you want to. And then we can go ahead and change that background image. So I'm going to choose an interior image this time. Maybe we'll choose something with a nice waterfront, maybe a nice marsh scene. It's kind of very Suffolk-y. It's very Suffolk with the kind of marsh and river view here. And then we're going to tell it what information we want to, be it from our saved search. So there's our Suffolk Real Luxury Report. Also notice, since I just added this one for you guys, that the latest saved search is always at the very bottom. So these aren't alphabetized or anything. So if you're looking for one of your saved searches that you created recently, it's always at the bottom of this list. And then we can go ahead and again, hide or show anything that we want to. In this case, I'm going to keep everything where it needs to be. I'm just going to go ahead and publish this page. And we can go ahead and take a look at it in the preview version here. But here's what's going on in the Suffolk, Virginia Luxury Real Estate Report. This is a true statement right now. So over 650,000, we've had 3 new listings in the last 14 days, 23 properties pending. There's 2 sold properties. Here's what's currently for sale. Here's what's recently sold. Here are all the different properties. I love this house, by the way. Here's all the other information.
How do we replace an existing neighborhood report with this new version?
So if you have an existing neighborhood report, you can always go to your manage searches, and let me show you how to do the SEO. Let me go back to that question first, and then I'll show you how you can manage your current searches and save them as something else. Okay. So who asked about SEO question or SEO settings here?
It was Lewis.
Okay. So we have the interior pages. This is where we were working. If you go up to that page settings up here, this is where you'll find all of your titles, your descriptions, your keywords, your open graph title, your open graph description, and your OG images that you can go ahead and use for social media. For those of you who are doing a lot of SEO, this is obviously where you want to be right here. To make sure that you have your title, description, keywords, and everything that's really optimized for SEO. The other option that you have too, let me get out of here and I'm going to come back in to our Suffolk Luxury Report. Right here. Remember I said that there was that advanced editor area where you could actually put some text that would go right above this market area or this market report information right here. If you wanted to continue to optimize with text for SEO, you can also use this advanced editor right here. So, and that's going to bring up basically what looks like a Word document, and you could put something in here like see all luxury homes for sale and real estate in Suffolk, Virginia. And then you can continue on here. So you can talk about different neighborhoods, you can talk about waterfront, you can put in all the different keywords that would be important to luxury real estate in Suffolk. You can create that paragraph that Google is going to love to index, pick up all those different keywords for it. And it's going to go ahead and show up right here. Now you can change the font size on this. You can create header tags for those of you who are doing SEO. And I know we have a bunch of different advanced SEOs in here. You can go ahead and create all that, or you can just leave it as a paragraph. Google will read this and read the paragraph and start to associate those keywords with this page. So we do have lots of SEO opportunities on this page. That was a great question. Thank you so much. All right, so this page is ready to go. It's live. I hit publish. Everything's good to go. So I'm going to just go up here to Ralston's website, and I name this the Suffolk Luxury Report. And I think it looks fabulous. There we go, live and ready to go. So we can go ahead again. We can use this on Facebook, we can use this on Instagram, we can use this in all of our e-cards that are going out. We can use this on a postcard. We can direct people directly down to this Suffolk Luxury Report. There are opportunities in our system to shorten this URL. So if you wanted to do something like ralstonaudain.com/Suffolk Report, all in one word, you can do that. You can do Luxury Report all in one word. You can actually go ahead and change this if you'd like to. That is an option in your interior pages to go ahead and change what that URL is if you need something shorter to be able to use for marketing purposes. All right, the other question that just came up, how can I change my searches that I already have? All right, let me go back to Town Central. I'm going to just start from the beginning just to get a nice fresh look here. All of your searches are contained under Site Builder, Search, and Manage. This is where you can find all of your saved searches you've ever created. So again, that's Site Builder, Search, and then Manage. That's how we're getting here. And this is all of your saved searches that you've ever made. So these include searches that have gone out to different clients, like this one is 23456 from 250 to 400K. That obviously sounds like something that might have been for a client. These are for homes for sale, all sorts of different things in here. I have not adjusted this one yet, the Smithfield Homes for Sale, so this might be a good one to try. So we can go ahead and manage this search over here. This is just going to allow us to change that saved search. It's going to give us lots of different options. When we manage this search, we can copy it to a client, we can preview it, we can do all sorts of fun stuff. For today, we're going to go ahead and edit the search criteria. It's going to bring us to that same screen where we were making that that last one. So in this case, this is Smithfield. I think these are all active homes. I'm just going to go ahead and change that and add under contract and sold and hit submit. I think this is one that we set up for a client training that we had. So doing a save search for a particular client. Okay, very expanded here. So this is all of Smithfield with all of the pendings and solds in there as well. I'm going to go ahead and hit save search. Instead of entering a new save search name, notice that it has replace a saved search because it knows that we're managing this particular search and that we are changing it. So we can go ahead and just overwrite the Smithfield Homes for Sale. If we don't put anything in this box and we just choose Smithfield Homes for Sale to replace this saved search, we can go ahead and hit submit. And it's done. So the nice thing is, let's pretend that I had not changed maybe the governor's land one to include the sold properties yet. It will still create that neighborhood report page, but it'll only give you maybe active and pending stats and listings on there. If I went back to that search and I added the solds, as long as that search was already tied to that market report, it would go ahead and add that sold data to it immediately. The searches are tied to pages and they don't become untied or unhooked when we make changes to them. Just remember that though, that if you're changing any of your SEO pages and you want to just change all of these different safe searches and you put sold data on them, just remember that all of your SEO pages are going to have sold data on them as well. So if you're using those SEO pages or those landing pages that you already had to really encourage people to look for active property, they may bounce because they don't want all of that sold data in there as well. So you're going to have to decide philosophically and fundamentally how your website works and how you have it set up. For a lot of agents, we have been just creating that second search that has active, pending, and sold in it, just so we can use it for the reports. I also have agents who are swapping over all of their SEO pages, just the landing pages, to the neighborhood reports instead, just because it gives even more data and it makes people stickier on the website. Time on site is important to Google. So is, of course, self-serve information and making sure that you're the expert. They're getting the same data that you would give them on those SEO landing pages. But of course, they're getting even more market information and things like that as well. Yeah, go ahead.
We've got 2 questions.
Sure.
Tanya said that her page does not look the same as yours when she's walking through. She doesn't know if maybe she missed a step.
Okay, Tanya, let me go ahead and get you after this class, and that way we can go step by step and see what happened on yours. I can give you a call as soon as I'm done here.
And Lewis said, if you set up a marketing report and associate it with a client, we'll automatically email the client whenever there is an update.
When you send an update to a client, it comes in as it's not like having a property update. So it's not like the property watch where it's going to update them every single time something changes on it. It's a scheduled update for them in the neighborhood market reports. So if you do set somebody up for email, and I'll show you the feature that question was about here. Let me go back. So I wasn't going to go into this more advanced feature today, but because the question has come up, I don't want to confuse anybody. The last 2 pieces here are that you actually can sign up your clients to receive this report. So let's just take the north end, for example, right here. If I go ahead and click on the north end, I can actually set this up to email this report out to people that I want it to go to. So if I have people who are either looking at the north end or I have people who are in the north end, maybe I have all of my, north end neighbors in here, I can go ahead and have them send this report. This report is more like receiving the market watch, where it's on a schedule to send out, versus the property watch, where it's going to update them every single time something happens. I hope that makes sense. Because I'm here, if you wanted to add a contact to receive this report in their email, not just have it as a landing page, this works the same way as sending out any other marketing email from the system. You can add your contacts or you can add them by a group. So if I click that button that says add contacts or groups, I can say I want to add a contact. If I want to add an individual person, maybe James, I want to have him get it, and we can choose a frequency. So every week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or every 3 months. We can have him receive it every week if we want to. And you can see that. So here's James Person. We added him here, and he's going to get this every week. If we want to go ahead and add an entire group. So if you have your entire neighborhood set up and you have everybody grouped into that particular neighborhood, maybe North End residents. So here we go. I have a group in here called North End residents. I have 10 people in that, or 10 to 12 people in that group, depending on. Here we go. It's going to send this report out to every single person I have grouped in my clients as a North End person. So I can go ahead and send this out maybe every 4 weeks because these are people who live there. I can hit save, and then you'll see all the different people come in here, when they were added, and when they will receive this. Okay.
Looks like Victoria has her hand up.
Go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, Kristen. I just wanted to know if you had any handouts of the steps for setting up the reports that you could share or possibly email.
This is brand new. We just came out of beta. So we will actually be putting this into a marketing minute, which you should receive next week. This information is actually not even available in our little training section in here yet, because we were one of the first companies to even get this. And we have just been pulled out of beta on this, so we're pretty excited about it. It is that new for us. The other thing too is that as soon as we are done here, the neighborhood reports video should be able to be uploaded into the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to go ahead and rewatch this. Haley, should this be available by this afternoon, you think?
I'm working alone this week, so it'll probably be there next week.
Okay. And that way you have those steps as well.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
What if you wanted to send along like a personal email message along with this neighborhood report? Is there a function to be able to do that?
Only if you send it with a link instead. This isn't something that would go out with kind of an email message attached. It's kind of an automatic piece to it. What I would recommend that you do in that case is make sure that when you are doing your page, so for example, like this luxury real estate report, this is where you may want to go ahead and add maybe that small paragraph in here that about, something that you might want to say to somebody. So contact you for all of your real estate needs. If you want to see how much is your home worth, click here. So if you have kind of a generic message that you just want to send out to everybody in that particular neighborhood, you can go ahead and put that in here. They'll receive it when they get the report in.
Yeah, I was thinking something along the lines of if they were getting value from that report and they have somebody that, like a friend that lives in another neighborhood, kind of let you know, and then you can send it, they can get on your email list to receive their neighborhood.
Sure. And you can always do something like, that's a good case use for saying that you can always set up a lead page too. So all of our lead pages here are customizable. So you can always set up a lead form. I'm probably going to choose the wrong one here. Oh, this one's not too bad. Maybe you have something where you have a big neighborhood graphic in the background with just a bunch of houses and streets, that kind of thing. And you want to say something like, sign up to receive this neighborhood report, and have people give you this information, or say something like, sign up for a neighborhood report. If you want to receive a neighborhood report on a different neighborhood, just please let me know. Put in your name, email address, and what neighborhood you'd like to receive. Hit send, and this will go to you. So this is a good use case for going ahead and creating a customized form that says that to get more information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jessica has her hand up.
Okay.
Hi, yes. Could you show me quickly how to, I won't take up too much time, how to take the school part off? Because I was kind of like following your steps, but
Sure.
I don't see like where to take the school like ratings off once you create your neighborhood
Sure.
or area.
So if I go under, I'm going to just go under this Allenton page that I created, this Allenton report. I'm in my interior pages. I'm going to go ahead and just edit that report. And if I want to go ahead and take off that market information, I can go down here to this section and hide it. And it takes off all of that demographic and market information down below. So all of this part will disappear.
Perfect. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Any other questions?
Monica has another question.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I thought I lowered my hand. I apologize.
Oh, you're fine. Any other questions? These are great to discuss with the marketing team as they come to your offices. So if you haven't had an opportunity to sign up for one of the marketing live meetings in the office, if you're really interested in using these neighborhood reports in your marketing, either online or in your postcards, you want to really start doing things with market data, really establishing yourself as an expert, do pick up one of those appointments when the next calendar comes out. Even though they're 30 minutes appointments, we can cover a lot of things, but we can certainly cover some best use cases for these neighborhood reports and how you can tie this into your entire marketing, especially as we head into the summer and then into the fall. We're really laying the groundwork right now for a really good, strong late 2022, early 2023 season right now. I know it seems odd to say that in May, but really this is the time where we really put in a lot of the effort to make sure that we carry all the way through the fall and winter markets. So. All right.
One more question.
Go ahead.
Can you show them how to set up a navigation button?
So
Elizabeth
you'd like
says
to know
that,
one of these.
yes, she says she does not have that at the top of her website.
Yep, you have to actually create that on your own. So if you wanted to have a neighborhood reports tab at the top, let me go to the beginning here, and I'm going to go to Site Builder, Site Editor. This will take us to the home page. So here's Ralston's homepage. So you can see everything here. And then I'm going to go ahead and click this button that says Navigation Interior Pages. I'm going to edit the navigation. This is the navigation up here. And you'll notice that on the right-hand side here, it's identical to the navigation he has on his website. So you can see the global pages, all these different drop-down items that we have. In order to create one of these drop-downs, we want to go ahead and hit this Create Navigation Title. That means we're going to create a drop-down up top. So I already have a neighborhood reports on here, so let me just put something like sample drop-down for you guys today. And hit Create Title. And notice that it created it right there. So sample dropdown. And then I'm going to be able to go ahead and start adding some of my pages to this and then inserting them into the dropdown over here. So this dropdown area is going to open. You can see that when I click on it. And it's going to tell me to drop nav here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to my SEO pages. And here's all my SEO pages I've created. In fact, since I'm here, I'll go ahead and add the Eagle Harbor report and the Suffolk luxury report into Ralston's actual neighborhood report, so you can see how that works. So I've gone ahead and just clicked my two check marks there, and hit add to navigation. It added them to the top. I want to add them to a drop down. So oops, let me close that up here. Since Ralston already has an actual drop down for this, I'm going to open his drop-down items here under neighborhood reports. This works the same way. All I'm going to do is click, and I'm literally going to drag this, drag this, drag this, drag this. And I'm going to see my yellow line there. It's going to drop it wherever I want it to. So I'm going to make sure that my drop-down items was open, and then I can go ahead and insert this in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this right below Pocosa. And there's my Suffolk luxury report. I'm going to move Eagle Harbor down here as well. And I'm going to scroll down, drop, 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 drop. Eagle Harbor starts with an E, so I'll put it there. And that is how I put things under a drop-down item. And then as soon as I am done with this and I have all my changes that I want to make, I can go ahead and hit Publish Navigation. Notice that sample drop-down is up there. I didn't put anything underneath it, but notice that I added it. But under my neighborhood reports, there's my Eagle Harbor report, and there's my Suffolk luxury report that I just added under there as well. So everything that you want is under Edit Navigation. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one that I just created here, just so we don't have anything extra here. And go ahead and just publish anytime you've made any changes. There we go. Took off that drop down that I made that was the sample, but here's that neighborhood reports. Once you hit publish on that, it is live. So if I go back to Ralston's actual website right now, it's in here somewhere, I'm sure. There we go. And I hit refresh. There's my neighborhood reports, and there's my neighborhood reports that I added under there as well. All right, hopefully that answered your question. Any additional questions before we go today? This has been a great class. This is a really, really exciting feature. I'm really, really looking forward to all of you going out and using this. These are really fabulous pages to make.
Muhammad has her hand up.
Okay.
Hey, Kristen. You said we can go to YouTube to take a look at.
You will be, this class has been recorded, so you will be able to go to the YouTube training channel and review this class, but Haley said it'll be up, I believe, next week. All right. Any additional questions?
I don't see any in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Well, I thank you all for spending the morning with me, learning about this new exciting feature that we have. Please feel free to go forth and use it. If you have any questions at all, we are available in web support at bhhstown.com. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have about neighborhood reports, or give you some guidance there as well. And again, that class will be available on YouTube probably next week. You guys can go forth and create a bunch of these pages. Thank you so much.